Okay, so we live. Hi everyone. My name is Sanjeev, and I'm the owner of this page. Normally, on this page, we talk about faceless YouTube channels, but currently I'm showing my face. So, but I've got a business partner with me. His name is Ethan, and I've been trying to help him out for I believe 2 months, and he'll introduce himself and then we can take the interview from there. So without further ado, Ethan, why don't you introduce yourself? Where you from, what you do, and all that.
Thanks, Sanjeev. So I'm a marketer from the U.S. and I've done a lot of different business models. Anything from uh, publishing books
Hmm.
to uh, marketing for local clients. I've done graphic design. Have background in that. I did that for 5 years. I've done a lot of different things, and then I reached into YouTube because I just enjoyed it more. I did
Yeah.
that for some of my clients. I worked for a company on the back end creating marketing funnels, and he wanted to do his own YouTube channel. So he had a couple of them, and I was posting for him and learning about the algorithm a little bit,
Yeah.
uh, running keywords and things, and I couldn't quite get him off the ground. Uh, and then I was just always wondering why. And then I started learning more and more and growing my own channels, but they were just going so slow still. And but it's one of those things that you have to practice and test and
Mm.
learn a little bit. And so I've taken a few courses here and there, learning about what it takes to grow one correctly. And but all of my other business models that I've tried, I just wasn't into enough to really take them off because other people have done well with them. Like
Yeah.
other people might be making $10,000 a month publishing books on Amazon. Why wasn't I able to do that? Like I'm
Mm.
great at creating those products, but there's always something, there's some reason that I'm not able to do something. Like I tried coaching, and a lot of other people were doing really great with it, and some other people weren't. And for some reason, I just wasn't able to take off with it. And I think it's just because I'm not a super social person. Like I don't like to be on calls all day long, trying to sell people or trying to be a salesman, which I've done that as well, high ticket sales, and
Yep.
it's just not my thing. Um, and I think you have to enjoy what you're doing
Yep.
in order to really take it the next step and be successful with it.
That's right. Yeah. That's pretty much sums it up. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, like no matter what you do, and no matter how much money you even make, you're not enjoying that. Like, so what's the point of
Yeah.
doing that and pursuing that? So I know I've done Amazon, I've done other online business, but just there's so much competition, like especially in e-commerce and online and selling. You have to be present there. Even if you're doing FBA or even digital product, you always relying on Amazon because they can suspend and restrict your accounts and so much hassle. So how do you compare that the other online business that you done to YouTube automation currently like now?
So other online businesses, it seems like you're creating another job for yourself,
Mm.
basically. Unless you really automate it, it's harder to automate other things than YouTube. Now, YouTube, I mean, you still have to put in the work, and the more channels you have, the more work you have. But
Yeah.
it's easier to train somebody to do that, somebody else to do that for you. And
Yeah.
like when it comes to e-commerce, it's hard to train somebody to search up good products. It's hard to train people to um, know like certain keywords if you're doing SEO and all the back end stuff because there's a lot that goes into it. It's hard to train somebody to know how to code if you're doing
Mm.
software,
Yeah.
in the way that you exactly want it done. It's hard to find people that will do things just the way that you need them done. Like if you're in a marketing agency, like you have to do a lot of training and you have to pay people more.
Yeah.
Like if you're hiring a software programmer, you're paying him a lot. If you're hiring a marketer that knows how to run ads on Facebook or Google, you're having to pay them a lot.
Yep.
With YouTube automation, there are ways that you can pay people like a reasonable amount that you can actually afford,
Mm.
and still be able to produce a new channel.
Yep.
So, I mean, or you could do it yourself if you have the time.
Yeah,
I
of
didn't
course.
have the time, so I had to pay people.
Yep.
And I have a few channels up now, and I realized that you have to kind of focus. Once you start learning, you have to focus on the channels that actually work the most in the beginning, so you can get that income coming in to start to break even and then profit that you can spend on your other channels.
Yep.
So I think you can scale a lot faster with
Yep.
YouTube automation. That's my opinion.
And most people, if they hear about YouTube business, they only think about showing their face and so can you clarify a bit more into like what do you actually mean by faceless channels and what's the actual model that we are making the income from?
Yeah, you don't have to show your face on these channels as long as you have quality content and value that you're giving to somebody. You don't. It doesn't matter if it's you, if it's a voiceover actor. It's best to have somebody that is doing a voiceover rather than one of those electronic ones. But I've
Yep.
even seen channels that have an electronic voice take off.
Yep.
It might be harder these days. I'm sure the Google algorithm is starting to kind of filter those out. But
Mm.
still, as long as you're providing content, even if there's no voice at all, sometimes those channels take off.
Yep.
so, so I mean, it just depends, and you don't have to put yourself into the business as much. So if
Yep.
you're not a social person, like I'm not a super social person, uh, I want to be and to do a channel with my face in it, which takes practice, but
Yep.
you have to focus a lot and know how you're presenting yourself, and it's difficult sometimes. It takes a long time to get learning and get better at. If
Yep.
you want to start, you don't have to do that. You can have voice actors, um, and just create clips and things like that with your editor where you don't have to put yourself in it, and it still provides value to people so that they'll watch your content. And that's all the algorithm cares about is, are you providing value?
Yep.
And then it'll spread your videos.
Yep. And what do you tell people that just think that they'll come on YouTube and start creating videos after videos and just hit the algorithm from first or second video and then make all this money and get rich quick? What will you tell those people?
It's definitely a long-term game. Like, it's, think of it as an investment. You
Yep.
you put money into your 401k or whatever. This is like this. You put your money into this, and then one day it will blow up. It takes a little bit of time. It's more like a hockey stick curve. You ever heard of that? So
Yep.
it's like this long, slow crawl, and then you
Yep.
might have a few spikes, and then one day it just shoots up
Yep.
like a
Yep.
rocket. So that seems to be how a lot of people have their success. Sometimes it's just one video,
Mm.
one video that does it. Uh, and sometimes it's just you getting better at the algorithm over time and having that practice.
Yep.
And slowly, the more you start getting into it, and the more you build subscribers, the more people that are going to see your video when you first post, which
Yep.
is the more likely that the YouTube algorithm is going to make it go up over time.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a slow grind, but it can take off within a month. Sometimes you get
Yep.
lucky within a couple of weeks, and sometimes it takes a few months to a year to really
Yep.
blow up until you're making enough to quit your job or something.
But
Like,
well, it took me like close to about probably 10 months just to figure something out, and all this time, like most people, they quit like within maybe 1 or 2 months max. But I was just like, this is my last chance. Like
yeah.
I have to make this work. So finally, something just clicked, and after that, it's just all about momentum because YouTube is mostly about momentum game. If something works, you just have to keep on giving, creating more content that your audience love. So, how much time do you actually devote in this business currently now?
Well, I'll probably put a 2 or 3 hours, 2 hours every morning.
Hmm.
Uh, and I check it all day because I'm addicted to it. I like,
Yeah.
it's fun. I like to watch the analytics, and then
Yep.
on the weekends I'll devote another probably 5 hours each day, so
Yep.
10 plus 10, probably about 20 hours a week.
Yep.
I mean,
Okay,
yeah.
that's probably you, but mainly most people, they might be, probably 1.5 hours a day, but depends. If you love doing it, like you always keeping
Yeah,
eye on things, right? You
that's me.
pretty
I
much.
like tweaking it and playing it and
Yeah.
creating thumbnails myself. So I do
Okay.
everything myself except for the
Yep.
video editing and the voiceover and stuff. So
Okay.
uh, because that's why it takes me longer, because I like to be picky with my thumbnails. So
Yep. And have you done anything in terms of graphic designing? Do you work as a graphic designer? What do you do now? Is it related to what you're doing now on YouTube?
sort of. So I worked for a graphic designer for 5 years, and now
Mm.
I'm a marketing director for a company in
Yep.
Colorado. So
Yep.
basically, I a lot of the things that I do still relate. Keyword research, it relates because I've done SEO and I run keyword research for Amazon. So
Wow.
getting keywords helps with this job. And
Mm. Mm.
graphic design, of course, I still do that. Uh, I do that all the time. If it's a skill, if you learn it, I mean, you're always using it.
Yep.
So for me, yes, I use that a lot for YouTube, and I can create prettier channels, prettier thumbnails, and prettier backgrounds for your channel cover, stuff like that. And I have kind of a good sense of what makes people click as a marketer,
Yep.
so I can kind of tweak things in a way to know what works, and I also can guide my editors and my script writers to provide more of a hook, and
Mm-hmm.
because I know what kind of works, and all you got to do, really, for those watching, is you just back engineer something that's already working. So you don't have to know all this stuff that I know or anything, because I'm still just getting started with it myself.
Yep.
But if you really want to see what's working or be successful, find out what's already working and back engineering. So you'll notice that a video might, in order to keep you on the platform, it will hook you in the beginning, and then
Mm-hmm.
throughout the video, it'll keep you hooked. It'll keep you watching, and that's what
Yep.
Google and YouTube loves. The
Yep.
algorithm wants you to keep watching it, and it wants you to click. Those two things are marketing. Being able to get you to click and keep watching,
Yep.
it's marketing psychology. Basically, it's the same. It's the same thing. So that's one thing that I like about it, is I still get to use the skills that I know, and maybe hopefully it'll pay off a little quicker in the long run.
Yeah, of course. Well, the more that we keep the viewers engaged, the more YouTube earns, right? And that's how, if you be able to do that for a long period of time, like YouTube will keep rewarding you. So it's all about just keeping the viewer engaged on
Yeah,
your channel, or just keep them hooked. So if someone comes to your channel, watches one video, if they come the next day, they'll always see that video on on the home page. So that's how it works. What advice would you give someone who is doing YouTube, but is not seeing any success? Like they're already in maybe 1 month in the business and they're not seeing any success. Like what advice will you give them?
or a little bit depends on the niche. So if they're doing like a more informational niche,
Yep.
so it's about information, I would make sure you have your keywords down. I'd use vidIQ, which you can get for free. You don't have to pay for it. Same thing with TubeBuddy. You don't have to pay for all the features of TubeBuddy. vidIQ, you just punch in a keyword and you'll go to like more recommended keywords and sort by the rating on it. If it's green or whatever, it has a high rating. Try to use those keywords a little bit in your
Yep.
video, in your title, in your description. The tags don't matter so much, but I like to put them in there because you can see where you're ranking, and that helps you know where
Yep.
your video has been ranking. TubeBuddy will help you. I think it's even better than vidIQ to show where you're ranking. It
Yep.
kind of fills up your whole your workspace though to having both, but I like to do it that way.
Yep.
Also, make sure your thumbnails are good. See what's already working out there. See what kind of thumbnails other people are doing, and notice how it works, but don't do exactly the same thing. So I would look at those thumbnails and say, okay, this is working. Why is it working? How can I do it differently? Which stands out among all the other thumbnails.
Mm.
So that's
All
how
right.
I would do it. And then also look at your script, see where people are falling off, see if there's something your script writer isn't doing or your editor isn't doing, or if there's a spot in the video that people just aren't liking. And remember that. Remember if somebody is not engaging with a certain part of your video, or if they fall off, look at your analytics. So if they're all falling off at the beginning, that means, I mean, if there's like a 35% retention rate within the first 30 seconds, that means your hook is bad. All right. And if they fall off in the middle, maybe there's a silent spot somewhere in your video, or maybe your editor forgot something and you didn't catch it. But those sort of things are something you want to catch. And also, make sure that you're driving engagement. Like, you have to, in marketing, you want to ask people to do things. You have to do a call to action, CTA. So you want to say, hey, subscribe and like to the channel at some point. Just even if it's just one of those little animated, like and subscribe animations, put that in there somewhere. Or put a box up in the corner that says subscribe. Put your little watermark in the corner that says subscribe.
Yep.
You want to do things like that. And also say, hey, leave a comment. Give them a reason to leave a comment. Make sure it's something that that will engage them enough to leave a comment. It doesn't, like, hey, if you guys have another idea for a new video, leave it in the comments. But it depends on what kind of channel you're doing. Like I said, if you're doing motivation or something, you don't have to have a script writer. So you're working with just like clips and things. So, but those are some of the basic things I would do.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Ethan. Any other thing you want to tell the audience before we end this? Your final words, like, is it best to do everything on your own, or always go to someone who's already paved the path? What's your take on it? Yep.
I definitely believe in paying people to help you that's already done it, because then you're making it faster for your stuff. You're streamlining the process. So I've spent lots of money on lots of courses for YouTube, and I learned a different bit of thing for each one. In the past year, I probably spent $10,000 on courses for different marketing and different things, because that's just what I like to spend my money on. I like to learn. So because each time you spend your money, you're giving yourself a new skill. You're giving yourself a new thing to put on your resume, even if that's what you want to do. Because this, learning YouTube, you could put it on your resume that you're a media person or something.
Yep.
You're good at SEO. But having somebody else walk you through it makes it a lot easier. And I didn't start really growing until I started paying people to teach me how to do marketing or YouTube. I would still be like struggling, not knowing. So you can watch all the YouTube videos you want, trying to figure stuff out, which is what I did, which is what I still do. But you're not getting that hands-on experience of somebody else that that one-on-one that you want to pay for. That's what you want to. That's what you want to get. And also, this business is fun. I mean, like I said, it's more of an investment. You put in the video. It's like a slot machine. You wait for it, and you want to get that 777. You want to get the jackpot, which is the algorithm taking off your video. Now, for me, it's addicting. Like, it's like gambling, but you have a little bit more control over it.
Yeah.
You put up a video, and it might take off, and it might not. And so you're sitting there just watching that data. I will watch. I have to shut off the screen sometimes, because I will watch the analytics and watch those views come in, just waiting for the algorithm to take it. And I realize there's certain times of the day that the algorithm, it might be like 12 hours, like suddenly it'll take off. It won't grow much. And then it'll take off at about 12 hours. Then it'll take off at 24 hours, and sometimes at 48 hours. It's like 12-hour intervals. Not exactly, but that seems to be a trend that I've seen for some of my channels. But it's fun. It's like a video game. You gotta, that's one thing that I like about it, is it's enjoyable. So it's not like other business models. This is more fun. So for me, at least, that's why I'm still doing it instead of giving up after a month like I usually do.
Well, that's a very good point, Ethan. Investing, because I'm also investing like anything I see. I always want to learn from people who are, crushing it in that space. And, I'm um, never scared to back out and just, just watch YouTube videos because there's only so much free information you can have. But at the end of the day, you need that hands-on, one-on-one, mentoring or coaching, whatever it is. So it's better just to pay. Just it might cost you a little bit more at the time, but in the long run, it will always pay off. So that's a very good take on it. So thank you so much, Ethan, for your time. I know we probably 15 or 16 hours I'm ahead and you
Yeah.
behind. So I believe it's 5 a.m. there and it's 9:30 p.m. here. So
Yeah, just it
thanks a lot.
just turned after 6. No.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a big time difference, and thanks again. And we will talk to you in the next coming future. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.